My name is James Carpenter, Country Living. Today we are going to do some vacuum sealing. I'll show you a little bit about the process. So basically, the idea of vacuum sealing is to prolong the life of the food a little bit, and obviously there's some foods last longer than others, and I'm pretty well aware of all that. But today we're going to vacuum seal rice, and we're going to seal sugar in half-gallon jars. The purpose of all this is to just have food in preparation for hard times, and without getting into hard times, use your imagination. Everybody's got their own idea of what could create hard times. Obviously, if you look at the way things are going in the world right now, we just got through 2 years of mandates, more government control. Now we're in a high inflationary situation. Things aren't looking good that way. So anyhow, the food that I'm preparing right now and basically putting away for an emergency is costing me less than what it's going to cost me down the road. And from what I'm observing, will food even be available down the road? I don't want to get into the doomsday stuff, but obviously I've been a prepper for the majority of my life. Even as a young man, I was constantly thinking, what if, and always storing at least some food. I'm at a position in my life now where I feel pretty comfortable with the amount of food I have stored and other necessary items in the case of an emergency. With that being said, I will show you a little bit about what I'm doing this afternoon, and I appreciate you watching my channel, and obviously we all would like you to subscribe. That at some point I'll get enough viewers where they'll publicize my videos a little bit more than what they are now. With that being said, let's move forward. Okay, we're going to be vacuum sealing some rice, and we're going to put some sugar up in jars. And what I'm doing here is I'm pre-cutting the bags, the Seal-A-Meal bags. I find it relatively easy to use this paper cutter. Scissors take a little bit longer, and this gives me a good straight cut. Another roll out here. These bags, there's kind of marks here, and if you line the mark up here and here, obviously you're going to get a nice straight cut. these marks look like they're maybe 2 inches apart, and I'm cutting them 8 inches because we're going to put 4 pounds of rice in each bag when it's all said and done. And we also have some seeds. I'm going to vacuum seal the seeds. We're going to plant a garden this year. We haven't planted a garden in a lot of years, but the way things are going, I really want to get back into the gardening, and our root cellar is plenty big enough to hold a few 100 pounds of potatoes and onions and different things like that that we can store over the winter, along with our other prepper food. So as you can see, we went through a roll pretty quick. The paper cutter definitely is a plus. Let me get this last little bit off of here. Okay. So we got several bags pre-cut. I think now we're going to seal one end of the bag. So there we go. Got a nice little seal across there. So it's like we're doing a little bit of an assembly line here. Getting everything prepared for the rice when we go to process it here in a little bit. Now, what I've found in the past with the food saver, you can overheat them. So far, it hasn't been the case here today. So I do keep an extra food saver on hand, so that if I do start having a heating issue or overheating issue, I can work with the other food saver. And as for the rice, once I vacuum seal it, I let it set out for a few days because if these bags are going to leak down, they usually leak down within the first day or two. So you get a bad seal, you'll find that. So I don't seal up all the rice, put it in a container, and then assume it's good. I wait a few days, stay sealed, and obviously over a long period of time, some of them may still leak out a little bit. And I do have the little packets I could put in here to draw air out too, but I'm pretty confident that the vacuum seal is probably adequate. If I do lose the seal on one or two bags, it's not a total loss of the whole 50-pound bag of rice. I do have Mylar bags. I don't seem to be able to get the Mylar bags to vacuum seal down. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe somebody could leave something in the comments that knows more about that than I do. But these are freezer bags, so they're a little bit heavier than the standard bag. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you could see that red light flashing, but obviously we've hit our limit on temperature on this one. So let me get the other one out and we'll rotate the food savers. Okay, so here we go. This food saver is a couple years older than this one. I like this one a little better because the lid stays up, actually. The other one, the lid really doesn't want to stay up on its own. It appears to me that this newer version also does this sealing process a little bit longer than the older version. The button that says seal, it doesn't operate quite as good as this unit. This unit, you push it and it works. Sometimes I push seal on this one and it doesn't take. Okay, I'm back. I got the bag of rice opened up, 50 pounds. I got it at Sam's Club. I couldn't believe that the price was still somewhat reasonable. Good inflationary purchase here, along with some prepper food for bad times that may be ahead. I made myself a coffee. So I'm ready to rock and roll. So what I do is I scoop out one quart or 4 cups of rice. Grab one of my bags. Pour the rice in the bag. Well, there could be a problem here. I cut these a little large. Maybe it should have just been 3 instead of 4. So what I'm going to do is put a little more rice in there. I don't want to waste any of these bags. see if it can handle 8 cups. For storage purposes, I gotta be careful, I don't want to spill my coffee. I level this out a little bit. That way when I put them in the plastic tote, before I put them into the root cellar, it just makes it a little bit easier to store if these bags are as flat as I can get them. Okay. So, there we go. The finished product. Relatively flat, easy to stack, easy to store. Again, I will let this set for 3 or 4 days and make sure that the bags aren't compromised. We get a bad seal, we can always reseal it. If they do last those 4 days, chances are they're sealed. Maybe somebody in the comments knows how long they'll stay sealed. I'm hoping that they stay sealed for quite some time, to be honest with you. But let's continue the process here. All right, 4 cups. Four more cups. There's another one. Sound like little bricks when I set them down. Okay, so we're going to move on to the sugar. We got the 50 pounds of rice done. We got the seeds done. And now we're going to use another food saver device. And we're going to put the sugar in half-gallon jars and then vacuum seal the jars. Alright, I'm going to grab a paper towel to wipe off the lid of the jar. I just want to make sure that's clean so we get a good seal. We'll set the canning jar lid on top. It's been a while since I've used this, so hopefully I'm doing it right. We'll plug this into the food saver. Give it a little tick. Alright, I think we got it this time. Yeah, sealed down pretty good. So we'll put the lid on. And we're going to process 50 pounds of sugar. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera or not, but it does make a distinct little tink, which I'm sure is the seal. Obviously, I remember when I was a kid and my mother used to can. She'd set those jars out on the kitchen table, and we had to count the little tinks as they went off so she'd know they all sealed. But you can also push down on the top of them. That's another way to find out if they're sealed.